everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Powerhouses studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some budget Commander Powerhouses. That's right, cards that are $2 or less that you need to know and you need to pick up right now. Let's start things off with Forexian Reclamation. This gem is just $1.79 right now, and this is a game-changing card, an enchantment for a single black mana. By paying 2 mana and 2 life, you return target creature card from your graveyard back to your hand. So this is a very easy to get down enchantment, obviously with a very low investment, just 1 mana for that. And then the investment to just keep recurring creatures again and again and again back to your hand is also incredibly low, just 2 mana, and yeah, 2 life, but again, in Commander, who cares? What is life in Commander? That's 1/20th of your life total, and there are plenty of ways. If you need to get life back, get life back. I mean, if you're getting something like Gary, Grey Merchant of Asphodel back again and again and again, that will just make up for the life, obviously, and the devotion right there with the enchantment in play, too. So yeah, this is the type of card that can work really well in, well, mass discard decks, when it comes to wheel decks as well, when it comes to ones that utilize creatures out of the graveyard, aristocrat-style decks, yeah, self-mill decks, enchantress decks as well, with a creature component to them. There's a lot of different good decks out there that can utilize an amazing card like this. This card used to be a lot more expensive before the reprint. I think a $4 or $5, maybe even $6 card up until now. So yeah, pick it up while you can. Still at this amazing price. And I guess I should say, all the cards in this episode are going to be in a card list link in the description below. So pick them up right there. Let's stick with some more enchantments, though. Next up, we've got Propaganda, just $1.89 right now. Yet another card that fluctuates between like $5, $6, back down to $2 whenever it's reprinted or printed a new set. And there you go. It has been reprinted recently-ish. An enchantment for 3 mana in blue. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. Basically, the original Ghostly Prison, essentially. And I can't remember if Ghostly Prison affects Planeswalkers as well, but still, the main component of actually preventing an attack is, hey, don't attack me. A taxing effect of 2 mana per attacker. That is usually enough to either, stop an entire giant force from coming at you because the opponent doesn't have enough mana to do so. Like, again, if a player has, like, 20 creature tokens, they're like, oh, yeah, I'll swing at you. Like, wait, oh, no, I don't have 40 mana lying around. Okay, well, my attack doesn't really work against you now. Or, again, just kind of funneling those attacks. Be like, okay, you can only get attacked by, 1, maybe 2 creatures in a combat. And it's still, even if they are paying that, they're taking away that resource of mana to pay for that instead of something else. So you are either hindering opponents or you're just, preventing yourself from getting attacked. You're turtling up. It's an amazing card, a great card for a Pelifort type strategy or just, again, a control type strategy. Yeah, it is a great, amazing card that does so much work for you. Make sure you pick it up. Let's keep things rolling. We've got Leyline of Anticipation. Here we go. If it's in your opening hand, you begin with the game on the battlefield. So basically, again, it does cost 4 mana, but if you're lucky enough to have in the opening hand like all the other Leylines, you get it into play for free right away, and all of a sudden, hey, free Vidal Canori. What's not to love about that? You can cast non-land cards as though they had flash. Even if you are having to pay for it, really not that big of a deal at all. Again, 4 mana for that. That's literally exactly what Vidal Canori is. This is just one that fits in, well, decks that have blue, obviously. So yeah, a Vidal Canori that can also just be free. And no offense to artifacts out there, but I typically see enchantments as a bit hardier, a bit harder to deal with typically when it comes to just, oh yeah, Vandal Blast sees a lot more play than other things like Destroy All Enchantments. So there you go. This is a card that is absolutely incredible. Allows you to play at instant speed. So again, it's kind of that, draw, go ahead, yeah, I don't need to do anything else. I'm just going to wait and play the cards exactly when I need to play them. Most of the time, just literally playing things like right before my turn, so my opponents have less ability to react to what I'm doing then and then what I'm doing on my actual turn. It's an incredible card. Again, one that can just go into play for free. Great in a lot of different strategies out there. And yeah, sure, I guess Enchantress as well. If you're like, oh yeah, cool, Enchantress, so free enchantment to play to start off, that can be a really good thing for you. Go pick it up right now, $1.92. Up next on the list, we've got Martyrs Cause coming in at $1.82. You might have never heard of this card. Like, you've definitely heard of probably Propaganda if you've been playing for a while, or Leylines if you're playing for a while as well, but Martyrs Cause, you're like, huh? What is that? Well, it's an enchantment for 3 mana in white, and it says sacrifice a creature to prevent all damage to a creature or player from one source. Yeah, it's a very strange card. Again, when it comes to like the color pie and different things fitting in the color pie, sacrifice, enchantments or sacrifice, just free sacrifice outlets is not typically something that is in mono white anymore at all. Like, at all. There are very few ways to do this in mono white, and here's one of them. And again, when it comes to being in a mono white deck, you don't have to be in a mono white deck to make the most out of this card. Aristocrat style decks like Teysa Karlov and Orzhov, yeah, there's great mono black cards as well that sacrifice, but hey, this one's pretty amazing too. Sacrifice one creature and say, yeah, that just goes away. That damage is going away. So if someone is going to be swinging at you with a giant creature, like, no. Yeah, you can just actually just utilize, again, the free sacrifice out component to be able to say, you know what, whenever I need to, I will sacrifice those creatures. I will get those death triggers. Again, the Teysa Karlov style death triggers of doubling those two are amazing. Whenever I want them to be, again, being a free sacrifice outlet, that is huge. And of course, being able to just stop attacks in their tracks, or again, like any other types of damage that are being dealt out. You can also make political deals with this too. Like, oh, if someone's swinging at someone else with like a massive creature, and you're like, hey, let's make a deal. I'll sacrifice my tiny little spirit creature token here, save you from that damage, and you don't attack me next turn. So yeah, you make a deal like that. Yeah, you're able to actually wheel and deal with a card that, again, is an amazing free sacrifice outlet, and a card that will have your opponents going, wait, what in the world is that? And you're like, yeah, it's really good, isn't it? They're like, oh no, stop preventing my attacks. $1.82, pick it up right now. Now, on to the next one. We've got Mirror March, an enchantment for 6 mana in total in red. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, flip a coin until you lose a flip. For each flip you won, you create a token that's a copy of that creature. Those tokens gain haste and exile them, beginning next end step. Basically, hey, you got a decent chance of doubling up that creature, for temporary purposes. It gets haste, so you can swing right away with it. If it's got an ETB, yeah, that's where you really get to utilize this. Or an LTB, I should say. That's not a death trigger, unless you've got a way to sacrifice it too. You've got an easy way to double up on a creature, or, yes, potentially, even more so. So obviously, like in a coin flip deck, you like every kind of way that you can to flip coins. That's great. But with this, though, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. I can just happen to get an extra copy of my creature, or 2 copies, or 3 copies. You can get an absurd amount of blowout potential with a card like this. Again, especially when it comes to ETBs, and when it comes into using and abusing ETBs as well. Being able to go, oh, okay, yeah, I blank this creature, comes back into play. It's got a great ETB that I get. Again, say it's like, oh, draw 2 cards, something like that. Like, okay, go, draw 2 cards. Flip a coin. Oh, cool, I won that flip. All right, I get 2 more cards. Flip another coin. Oh my gosh, another coin. Oh, sweet, yeah. So being able to just, again, have those blowout plays where you also get to swing with the creatures too, absolutely a fantastic card for the right strategy out there. Go pick it up. Continuing on, $1.92 for this gem. We've got Trade Routes, an enchantment for 2 mana in blue. Pay 1, bounce a land you control back to its owner's hand. Pay another 1, discard a land card from your hand, draw a card. This is a card that I actually highlighted on another episode that, well, yeah, it's an amazing card. I'll try to short this one a little bit in case you saw that one as well. But basically, if you just had the text on this, your lands have cycling for 1, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's awesome, amazing, I'll use it. But because it has all this other text on it, and because it doesn't directly say cycle, and yes, I know there's some things like, it only benefits if it's cycling. Okay, yeah, sure. Most of the time, though, oh my goodness, I get to be able to discard my lands and replace them. That is absolutely huge. And also, again, late game, if you're like, well, I've got all these lands to play, but nothing to play, bounce land you control back to your hand, discard it, get it in your graveyard, and draw a card instead that you actually need. It's an incredibly efficient way to cycle through lands, basically, and it's also a great way to use and abuse landfall for those types of decks, too. So yeah, if you've got those kinds of decks out there, or if you just like getting rid of your lands when you need to, it's a fantastic card. Go pick up Trade Routes right now. Time to shift gears, though, with a different kind of pick. This is going to be Ancient Runes. Now, this card is not for every single type of deck out there. It's not just like, grab it and chuck it into any deck out there. That being said, the decks that want it really want it. Enchantment for 3 mana in red. During each player's upkeep, it deals 1 damage to that player for each artifact they control. This card is absolutely massive for, well, mostly group slug type strategies. Also kind of like artifact donation strategies in a way, like certain commanders are like, hey, you get treasures, but there's a downside, or something like that. But being able to essentially, again, for a group slug deck, just put this in play and say, oh, hey, You got artifacts, whether those are mana rocks or, artifact tokens, like, again, yes, treasures. Sure, you're going to be punishing your opponents. And again, especially in today's meta where there's a lot of treasures here, there, and everywhere, forcing an opponent to either utilize their treasures early or take damage from them absolutely can be an amazing play for you. So yeah, either punishing an artifact deck out there, which again, artifact decks are the #1 most popular deck in Commander right now, or again, for a group select type strategy, just random miscellaneous damage that can be an absurd amount. Or yes, punishing those treasure players, which again, treasures is also one of the top 5 on according to DHREC when it comes to themes. It's a great card for those types of strategies. Onward we go to some creatures, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Deadeye Navigator is below $2. Oh my goodness, that's right. This card that combos with a ham sandwich, many other things as well on top of the ham sandwich, but yes, combos with basically everything. It is such a good card in Commander. Now it's just, well, $1.96 for this beautiful version. A 5/5 Spirit with Soul Bond for 6 mana in blue. As long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has pay basically 2 mana. Exile this creature and return to the battlefield under your control. So basically, this is a great way to combo with, well, the most famous one I would say is Peregrine Drake. Like, okay, enter the battlefield, untap 5 lands. Cool, alright, so you pay 2 mana, you do that again and again and again and again and again, floating mana while you're doing so. Congratulations, you got infinite mana, infinite ETBs of other creatures, infinite LTBs of other creatures, whatever you need. You probably just win the game from there, obviously. That being said, even if you're not comboing, yeah, in a Blink deck, this is incredible. Any kind of a deck that really wants to, again, use and abuse ETBs or LTBs, it's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, just 2 mana, blink a creature on repeat. Yes, please. It's also a good way to save things from target removal as well, but yeah, mostly it's, hey, oh, I really like that ETB that I have again on that creature. Maybe I'll find a way to actually just draw 2 cards for 2 mana. Okay, cool, yeah, goodbye, go back. Okay, goodbye, come back. All right, just keep doing that again. There's a reason why this one is so good, so sought after, and finally getting some more reprints. Finally less than $2. Go pick it up. You're not ready for this next pick, though. Scoot Swarm. Yeah, this card, well, has kind of taken over in some ways as a great finisher, but also just great new token strategy as well. $1.81 right now. Well worth that price. A 1/1 insect for 3 mana in green. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. You control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. Whenever you have things that can make copies of themselves, they can get absurd and exponential in their growth, basically, when it comes to the amount of tokens you're going to be able to get in play, especially, again, in a landfall strategy in Commander. Yeah, it can get quite crazy. Like, this plus Scape Shift equals, oh my gosh, look at the charts and look how many things are on the board, and yeah, I need an abacus to do all this math. Basically, this is a card where, again, early game, it's still a good card. You're able to, okay, I get a land into play, awesome, I get another 1/1. Cool, that's great, why not? I'm just going wide, with my tokens. But once you hit, again, 6 or more lands, which of course is incredibly easy for you to get to, you start exponentially growing. You make copies of themselves, and all of a sudden, whenever you get land, you get copies too. It just keeps growing and doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling until, literally, again, you have thousands of them on the board, and it's impossible for you not to lose the game. Such a good card in landfall strategies, or just go wide strategies. Again, you are in green. You've got plenty of ways to just use and abuse landfall anyways. You're going to be doing it with ramp cards, with Evolving Wilds type, fetch lanes essentially. You're going to be doing it anyways, so you might as well just throw this in the deck. Again, $1.81, a steal for this card right now. Here comes a spicy one, though, with Dour Port-Mage, a 1/3 frog wizard for 2 mana in blue. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card, and by paying 2 mana and tapping it, you bounce another target creature you control back to its owner's hand. This card is perfect for, well, certain type strategies, like, say, blink strategies again. Being able to say, you know what, okay, I blink that creature, it goes away, it comes back. All of a sudden, oh, I get to draw a card. Now, if you mass blink things again, you're still just getting 1 card. Again, if I blink every single one of my things at the same time, 1 or more, that does come into play, obviously, and it says, okay, you still get to draw 1. That's still nice. Again, like you cast an Eerie Interlude and you just get to replace that Eerie Interlude. That's lovely. But of course, also, if you exile creatures, if you have them, again, let's shuffle into their library, if they go anywhere other than essentially, well, your graveyard, then yeah, you get to draw that card. So if you are able to kind of one at a time utilize that, one at a time. To take advantage of that, you can draw so many cards with this. On top of this just being a good bounce effect that doesn't have a timing restriction on it. Sometimes those have like, okay, bounce something back to your hand. Well, only at sorcery speed. No. This one does not. So it can be a good way to save something crucial for you as well. Or again, helps you utilize an ETB again a second time. So yeah, a great card for the right strategy out there. Make sure you pick it up. Things are just heating up, though, because we've got Doom Weaver next. $1.87 for a card that is hugely impactful for the right strategy out there. Yeah, this is a great card in my Mr. Orfeo Hotline Fling deck. I love it. 1/8 Spider with Reach and Soul Bond that costs 6 mana. As long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when this creature dies, draw cards equal to its power. Here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, if this dies, you're drawing 1. That's not all that great. But basically, any other thing that you have attached to this is most likely in the right deck again out there. Again, like a Stompy deck, a Power Matters deck, etc., etc. Just a creatures generally deck, you're going to have a good amount of power. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, paired with a 6-power creature. Oh, okay, yeah, that dies in combat with a board wipe, or, if I just have a way to sacrifice, I need to draw some cards. You're going to be drawing an absurd amount of cards with this. And then after that, you're like, okay, I drew in this other creature. I play that creature. It soul bonds with this, and it says, oh yeah, cool, now when that dies, I draw another, say, 8 cards, or whatever it is. You can just use and abuse this so many different ways. Again, with power doubling type effects, with free sacrifice outlets. You can draw so many cards with this amazing draw engine. On top of this just being a great blocker for you, again, a 1/8 with Reach. It's very hard to get past this. It doesn't matter how big your friend's Angel is. It's probably not bigger than this, unless it's like Avacyn. Then you're like, okay, never mind, don't kill my spider. But yes, most of the time, it's a great blocker for you that just draws you crazy amounts of cards. $1.81, a great deal for this one. Speaking of power, though, let's talk about Koga the Titan Ape, another card in my Mr. Orfeo deck, but yes, one that also works with Doom Weaver, a 7/6 ape for 6 mana in green. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. Whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls, and by paying 2 and bouncing a human you control back to its owner's hand, it gets indestructible until end of turn. There are so many different things going on with this creature. I mean, already it's a decent power creature, right? Okay, 7 power for 6 mana. There's better things out there than that, but still a good amount of power. On top of that, though, ETB, fighting any creature on the board, you're basically going to be able to take out pretty much any creature on the board that your opponents have. At the very least, one of the biggest creatures, or like second or third biggest, you can take out basically anything with that 7 damage and usually be able to survive that as well. On top of that, on attack, you're like, oh yeah, I get rid of that. Okay, another attack, different turn, I get rid of that. Or like extra combats, get rid of a lot of things. And on top of that, you can actually protect Koga at the exact same time as this, kind of being like a Teamer Sabertooth, but specifically for humans. Now here's the thing. If you have a changeling, great, that's just always a human, fantastic. Or if your commander is a human, my goodness, the potential for that. Because this is a 2-mana way to protect your commander by just bouncing it back to your hand whenever you need to. And by the way, yeah, if your commander, again, has an ETB that you want to utilize, cool, utilize it again. A great card, again, for this price. Power Matters type synergies, removal in a couple of different ways, and also, again, protection for something else, or just, yeah, utilizing an ETB or a leave the battlefield trigger. It's a fantastic card. Get ready for what's coming next, though, because we've got Marionette Master. Yeah, this card used to be already a really good card when it came out. When it first came out, it's like, yeah, it's a really good card. Over the most recent years, again, like I mentioned, certain things like, treasures and other artifacts, out there, other artifact tokens that sacrifice have become massive, especially treasures. And so this, yeah, is such a good card. It's such a good finisher for you. A 1/3 Human Artificer for 6 mana in total. Fabricate 3, so that means either 3 counters on it or you make 3 servos. It says whenever an artifact you control is put into a grave from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. Now, that power is not dependent just on the amount of counters on it. Of course, proliferating can get you even more, or other counter synergies too. That being said, yeah, you can throw like a Blackblade Forge on this or whatnot, or you get other kinds of pump effects, of course. But even if you're not doing that, again, because treasures have become so abundant, you can make so many different things with treasures, or again, clues or food or whatnot. Being able to go, oh, okay, cool. It's got 4 power because I fabricate 3 of the counters on it. All right, I sacrifice a treasure, drain you 4 life. All right, sacrifice another one, drain you another 4. Yeah, this is such a simple and easy finisher for you for the right strategy. And of course, that's not even just saying like chuck it into an artifacts deck and it's going to be great in that deck too. $1.72, definitely a great price for this one. Pick it up. We're just getting started though. Next up, we've got Sanctum Weaver, a 0/2 enchantment creature Dryad for 2 mana. Tap, add X mana of any one color. Rex lead up of enchantment you control. Oh my goodness, that is just so much mana for you. This card is kind of like Priest Titania for elves, but this is in enchantments. But also you can kind of curate your mana too. It's not just in green. Although for most elf decks, they're just green. That being said, this is like, hey, you know what? Okay, go super wide with enchantments, which you're already planning on doing. By the way, I'm also an enchantment, and now I'm going to tap for an absurd amount of mana. By the way, if you've got any untap effects, of course, you can easily utilize those. And there's also combo potential as well with certain ways to untap this again and again and again. Yeah, if you're in any kind of enchantress strategy, you're going to want to consider this one because even though, yes, I do argue that obviously when it comes to ramp, land ramp is the safest, mana dorks are the least safe, you can make some exceptions when it comes to like, oh yeah, this has the potential to just give me like double the mana that I have, if not even more. Yeah, I can probably find a spot for you in the deck as well, including all the Enchantress synergies that happen with this being an Enchantress or enchantment too. So yeah, a great card for $1.88 right now. Wait until you see this next one though, because Archien Ifne is just $1.81 right now. A 5/4 demon with flying for 5 mana in black. Whenever you cycle or discarding another card, put a -1/-1 counter each opponent's creatures. Or you can cycle away for 2. It doesn't even need that cycling to be relevant. That's very nice that it has that. But yeah, being able to, have this in play and just control the entire board. And your opponents literally can't get creatures in play without, them just getting taken out immediately, basically. It is such a good card because whether you're in a cycle strategy or a mass discard strategy or a wheel strategy, yeah, you're going to be able to take advantage of this. Yeah, you just basically wheel once. You're like, okay, I discard 7 cards. All right, all my opponent's creatures are gone, and I got a new hand. Cool. Chances are probably I got another way to discard more cards. So, yeah, you can very easily wipe out all of your opponent's creatures or just shrink them over time. And then, yeah, if they play more creatures, take those out as well. It is a asymmetrical effect where you are just keeping all your creatures on the board, just demolishing, just decimating all the words. You are taking out all of their creatures again and again and again, making it so they literally can't have a board at all. And it's also a 5/4 demon with flying too, so yeah, Demon Tribal as well can utilize this card. It's an amazing card that is so threatening, so scary. It's on the other side of the table. Pick it up right now. Moving on to some artifacts, though, let's talk about Whisper Silkcloak. This one, is usually a lot more expensive than $1.88, but it's dropped down right now, and you should be picking it up. Artifact equipment for 3 mana. Equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud equipped too. So this one is a great way to, get your creature, usually your commander, through, and also make it so that it can't be targeted. Now, this is not for every kind of deck out there. If you've got, like, a big strategy around, like, targeting something again and again and again, again, Shroud is not Hexproof. It is worse than Hexproof, but it's still very, very good. If you just want to protect your commander and also get it through, or get whatever other creature, it's a great way to do that. There's very few ways to just give entirely, like, unblockability to something. On top of that, of protecting at the same time. It does 2 amazing things for you. If you've got a deck that's built around, like, combat damage triggers when you're hitting opponents, or a Voltron-type strategy, but you're okay with the Shroud aspect of this, yeah, it's an amazing card for certain types of strategies out there. Or again, if you just want to protect your commander, be like, yeah, okay, Shroud's fine. I'm not going to target with any of my things. So here, Shroud. And by the way, I can just swing through and get through whatever I need to. Great, good for me. A great finisher, a great protector, an amazing card for just $1.88. Speaking of getting through on an opponent, Scepter of Celebration, $1.78 for this gem, and equipment for 3 mana in green, +2/+0 in trample. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Being able to say, oh, okay, cool, I can get damage thrown on this creature now because it's got trample and a little bit of pump too. That's lovely, especially for high power creatures. But on top of that, yeah, just dish out a ton of damage and then make a massive army. What's not to love about that? This is great for go wide strategies. It's great for go tall strategies. It's great for Anthem strategies. Great for a lot of different strategies out there. Equipment strategies too. Voltron strategies. It's a very cool card that is just kind of like an army in a bottle, basically. You're like, oh yeah, cool. Equip it. Swing. Oh, cool, I got through. I hit. Awesome. Lots of creatures to help do my bidding now. A great card. $1.78. Let's zero on this next big one, though, with Horn of Gondor. This is basically Cranko, but for humans. Legendary artifact for 3 enters the battlefield. You make a 1/1 soldier. By paying 3, you tap, and you make X humans, where X is the, well, number of humans you control. Human soldiers, I should say. So basically, you are able to pay 3 and tap and double up your human army again and again and again. Here's the thing. This is absolutely incredible for, obviously, human tribal, but also, if you've got just like a go-wide token strategy, keep in mind that many of your go-wide tokens might just be humans. So yeah, go check kind of what kinds of tokens you are making. And if you get this in play, you're like, okay, cool, yeah. Get it out there, double it up. Get it out there, double it up again. You can make an absurd amount of tokens with this and really take over the game in absolutely no time. Of course, it works great in strategies that can also untap this artifact and utilize it again, or reduce down that cost, or just big mana strategies that can utilize all that mana and use it so many times. It's such a good card, such a unique card, and again, basically it is, hey, Cranko, but for everyone, alright, and for humans. When it comes to unique cards, though, Thran Turbine. This card is super weird and super awesome for the right commander decks out there. Artifact for 1 mana. During your upkeep, you may add, well, colorless, basically, to your mana pool, but you can't use it to cast spells. So yeah, if you're like, okay, cool, free instant mana, no, not for instance, but for many other things. So if you have any activated abilities, let's just say like a clue even, like, okay, cool, like if you have a clue deck, this is like freely sacrifice a clue on your upkeep to draw a card. Cool. If you've got a commander with an activated ability that you're planning to utilize a lot, cool, you get 2 free mana for that as well. So there's a lot of different circumstances where this card can just be a lot of free mana for you for an incredibly low investment. Again, live it is turn 1, put this down and go, okay, I forget about it essentially, and then go, oh yeah, cool, I've got some mana next turn. Oh, I've got this to utilize it with. Awesome, I'll use that. So yeah, mostly for commanders, I'd say, that have activated abilities, or when you know that you're going to be able to have, again, like those clues that you can spend that mana on, or food tokens, etc. It's a great free mana resource for you that is kind of like a soul ring in the right way, where it's like, oh yeah, you're getting that amount of mana. It's specific in what you can use it for, but still, when you use it properly, it's absolutely amazing. But now let's move on to instants. First up, we've got Perplex Instant for 3 mana in Dimir for $1.76. Counter target spell unless controller discards their hand, and you can transmute it away for 3 mana, which again means pay that 3 mana, discard from your hand, go get any card out of your library that costs 3, put in your hand. Basically a tutor for something that costs exactly 3, which there are plenty of great options out there for a lot of decks, and if you have maybe some sort of a combo that your deck is built around, and one of those things or both those things cost 3, congratulations, go get it. So essentially this is a card that is like an uncounterable tutor in a way. The only things that can really counter that, because it's an ability, are like stifle type effects, and usually players aren't playing that. But yeah, it's basically uncounterable, or it's a great counterspell because you can just decimate someone's plan by saying, okay, yeah, you really want that card to go through? Well, hey, I'm going to perplex that, and you can choose to actually have that spell go through if you lose your entire hand and you're just top decking. Yeah, they're not going to do that the vast majority of time, and if they do that, well, now they don't have a hand, they are top decking, and they are at a huge disadvantage. So this card is absolutely incredible for just $1.76. Pick it up. Now this one's worth your attention, though. Afterlife Insurance, an instant for 2 mana in Orzhov. Creatures you control gain Afterlife 1 until end of turn. Draw a card. This card is absolutely incredible for just $1.71 for the right strategy out there. I mean, at the very least, it's kind of like board wipe protection in a way, which is kind of interesting with the name Afterlife Insurance. But yeah, basically, it's like, okay, yeah, someone's about to board wipe. Well, I'm not protecting my entire team, but I am replacing them, and sometimes actually getting something better. Like if I've got like a go wide strategy with a bunch of 1/1s that are just like on the ground 1/1s, like a bunch of soldiers, cool. All of a sudden, I've got like, oh, okay, they go away, and I replace them with 1/1 flyers. Cool, awesome, it's even better. But yes, where this really shines is like an aristocrat style strategy, where you essentially just go, oh, okay, yeah, I pay 2 mana, I also draw a card to replace this, and all of a sudden, all my creatures gain Afterlife 1, meaning that if they die, I get a 1/1. Yeah, I'm going to start sacrificing them, and then having them die and get a ton of 1/1s, especially for like a Teysa Karlov type deck, where you're like, oh my goodness, that doubles now as well, because I double up the death trigger. Yeah, this is great. Again, insurance for board wipe protection, but also a great way to basically kind of double up your army in a way when it comes to, again, aristocrat style strategies where you're sacrificing so many things, getting so much value. An amazing card. Pick it up now. Pay close attention to this next one, though, because your opponents most definitely will when you cast it against them. That's Soul Shatter, an instant for 3 mana in black. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Not always, but typically, an opponent's best creature or planeswalker in play is going to be the one that's got the most mana value. Most of the time, I'd say the vast majority of the time, that is the case. That's the one they don't want you to get rid of. Now this one, again for 3 mana, is a forced edict effect for your opponent's most likely 3 best things in play. Again, instant speed for 3 mana. This is a game-changing card for you. It's absolutely incredible, works so well for you, and again, doesn't actually hurt you. Again, it's like a forced edict effect that's not also affecting you, which in black, isn't always typical, so there you go. Yeah, a great instant speed removal that gets rid of, again, probably the 3 biggest things on the board that you want to get rid of. A great card for this $1.78. Next up, though, let's move on to the sorceries with Season of Loss. A sorcerer for 5 mana in black. Choose up to 5, I think it's called Paws, I don't know. Paw worth of modes, let's call it that. You may choose the same mode more than once. 1 paw, each player sacrifices a creature. 2 paws, draw a card for each creature controlled that died this turn. 3 paws, each opponent loses X life for X number of creature cards in your graveyard. This is a card that can see, a lot of play in different types of strategies out there. First of all, just being able to cast this for 5 and say, alright, yeah, let's just wipe the board. Everyone sacrifice 5 creatures. This is a great way to just do that. And again, gets around indestructibility, regeneration, etc., and hexproof too, really. And then this one also says, hey, you know what? Actually, let's just have players sacrifice 3 creatures. And also, I will draw a card for each creature I control that died this turn. If you've got 3 creatures that you're sacrificing, cool. I'm drawing 3 cards for 5 mana while also eliminating 9 creatures my opponents control too. Great. Good for me. Amazing. It doesn't even have to be that, though, because let's say, again, you've got, an aristocrat-style strategy where you're freely sacrificing a lot of creatures. You can go, okay, everyone sacrifices 1 creature with that first mode, and then I will double up on that second mode, and I will draw 2 creatures draw 2 cards for every creature I control that died this turn. If I've got an aristocrat-style strategy where I'm sacrificing, 5 creatures, I just drew 10 cards with this 5-mana card, and also got rid of 1 of a creature for each opponent. That is absolutely amazing. And of course, it's a great finisher as well. We're like, okay, hey, I've got a bunch of creatures in my graveyard already. If I've got a self-mill strategy, if I've got, again, a sacrifice strategy and aristocrat strategy, I'm going to say, okay, yeah, I'll do that 3-paw thing, and everyone loses a ton of life based on the creatures in my graveyard as well. It's an amazing card that is so flexible and so helpful in so many strategies. Go pick it up. Speaking of game-changing and even game-ending cards, let's talk about Full Throttle, a sorcery for 6 mana in red. After this combat phase, of this main phase I should say, there are 2 additional combat phases. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attack this turn. Basically, in layman's terms, you get, 2 additional combats. That's basically what this is. In layman's terms, that's what it is. So being able to essentially say, okay, 6 mana, 2 extra combats, yeah, that's pretty incredible. Typically, you're going to spend at least 4 for that. And being able to just do, an extra 1 for 2 extra mana? Absolutely. This is a game-ending card for you, especially for strategies out there that are aggressive, for ones that maybe have attack triggers or combat damage triggers that can really take advantage of those. Just being able to have a go-wide strategy and say, I basically get 3 turns in 1 when it comes to combat, you're probably going to win the game when you cast this card effectively. So yeah, it's an absolutely incredible card. There's not too many things like it out there at all when it comes to giving you 2 extra combats. Make sure you pick this one up. Now let's switch things up, though, and talk about Repay In Kind. I love this card. Actually, it's highlighted on a more recent episode as well. Surprise cards that can just win the game out of nowhere. Make sure you go check that one out. That being said, yeah, I love this. Sorcery for 7 mana in total. Each player's life total becomes the lowest life total among all players, $1.94. There is no other card like this. There's a lot of other cards, not a lot, but a decent amount, I should say, that raise players' life total up to equal the highest or back to the original starting life total. This one says, no. Everyone comes down to, most likely, my level. You are going to have this in a strategy that's more like a life swap strategy, typically, or a life control strategy. Being able to say everyone goes down to just, again, 1. Sometimes with my Selenia Dark Angel deck, it was either 1 or 2 life. Or again, if you've got a group slug strategy, taking everyone down to near nothing means that you can just finish the game off then and there. If everyone's at 1, you got plenty of ways to finish them off again on your turn. Or if you've got a slight ping effect that happens again with a group slug type strategy, or some evasive creatures. Cool. You can take players who are I'm at 1,000 life. My life gain strategy is going great. Good for me. You're okay, come down to my level at 1. Good for you. You're gone. Repay In Kind is so much fun. Pick it up now for $1.94. Next move in a very different game plan, though, is Doomsday. This card is so cool, so incredible, and was a really fun card in my Golos deck before Golos got banned. Hashtag unban Golos. Anyways, Doomsday is a 3-mana card in black that's a sorcery. Search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile the rest. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order. Lose half your life, round it up. This is the ultimate, like, big risk play, or just the ultimate, I know exactly what I'm doing every single time with this play. Because, again, you're getting those cards out of your library or graveyard. You're stacking those cards in the exact order that you need them. And yes, again, with a Golos type strategy, when that was legal, it's like, okay, activate Golos. I know exactly what's going to happen, and I'm going to win the game from there. This is a really cool, really fun card to build around. A very unique effect. Make sure you pick it up and build a really cool deck around it. But a sorcery that's not so specifically, unique that you need to build an entire deck around it, but it's fun. Splendid Reclamation. A sorcery for 4 mana in green. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tap. This gem is just $1.85 right now. Yeah, if you are playing any kind of, let's say, a self-mill strategy, a graveyard-centric strategy, one that can get a lot of lands in your graveyard, obviously, this is a massive ramp effect for just 4 mana. Again, your typical amount of lands that you get for 4 mana when it comes to ramping is, well, 2, usually, right? But now this one's like, oh yeah, you can get like 10 plus lands. Yay, good for me. And when it comes to like the amount of like fetch lands or sacrifice lands, like the new Capenna lands that are utilized these days too, you can get a lot of lands in your graveyard without even actually milling or, sacrificing them outside of just, hey, oh, it's a fetch land. I sacrifice it. I go get another land. Throughout the game, you're going to have a decent amount in your graveyard. And when you do so, plus I guess I should mention discard as well. When you do so, cast this for 4 mana, you're like, okay, cool. I just ramped by like 5 or even more. It's not for every single strategy out there, but again, for like land-heavy strategies that have a lot of fetch lands, or ones that, again, can self-mill, yeah, you can get a lot of value out of something amazing like this, especially with a commander that actually sacrifices lands themselves for value, that kind of thing. Like, think get Rog kind of things, yeah, Anyways, $1.85, an amazing card. Finally, though, speaking of lands, we've got Dark Depths, a legendary snow land that's just $1.83. Enters with 10 ice counters on it by paying 3 movement ice counter from it. When it has no ice counters on it, you sacrifice it. If you do, you get Merit Lage, a legendary 2020 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. And it is so much fun. Yeah, you can definitely build like an entire deck around this, just getting the goal of getting Merit Lage out and winning the game from there. It's a land. It's not taking up a spot in your deck really at all. Though it does not tap for mana, unless you say, again, have like a Yavimaya, or something like that in play, essentially, right? Being able to have it, just be like a giant threat in waiting, or again, a combo piece if you've got something like, say, a Thespian Stage, which can just go, oh, okay, now I'm Dark Depths, but without the counters on them. So that's a way to do it, essentially, too. Of course, other combos that work well as well. But yeah, a really fun card to build around, especially when it comes to commander decks, maybe that have a way to tutor for it, maybe commanders specifically that can tutor for it. Have fun with this card. It's a great one. Just $1.83. Go win with Merit Lage. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.